Hey, welcome back to the Ramblings of a Designer. We are a weekly podcast. We talk about the latest in graphic design news from around the web. Hey, my name is Terry, and I'm one of the co-hosts. I'm a UX UI designer from the Bay Area, and I help bridge the gap between products and their end users. And I'm here with Adam, who helps runs the podcast. Actually, he does everything on the back end. So, Adam, take it away.
Hey, my name's Adam. I'm a designer from the San Francisco Bay Area. I specialize in visual UI design with a little bit of illustration. I like to give companies character.
All right. First of all, Happy New Year. It is now 2020 on day 8, and we apologize for last week for not having the podcast. It was just everybody was just celebrating New Year's Day, New Year's first, second. I kept on texting Adam, "You want to go?" Well, I have family. Oh, okay. And timing was just really off. At Christmas, it was perfect. Everybody ate and they all went to bed because they ate so much they fell asleep. On New Year's, everybody was just celebrating. So, anyway, we're going to be doing this podcast just a little bit differently. So, we didn't want to skip this week. So, Adam, what is your update from 2019 to 2020?
Yeah, what a year it's been. Um, let's see. In the beginning of 2019, I was contracting. Um, and this was my year when I transitioned back to full time. So I guess in 2018 to the mid of 2019, I was contracting, and mainly because I wanted to try it out. I wanted to see what all the hubbub was about. I kind of like the idea of uh, transitioning from job to job, having a new experience, trying out different companies. You know, eventually, if they liked you enough, some would give you the option to hire you. I want to see how all that experience was like. I'd have to say overall, it kind of was. I think it's one of those the grass is always greener type of scenarios. I did like it, but I didn't like all the I guess things like, since you're a contractor, you have to be an hourly employee. So the thing of like keeping track of your hours, I did that before. I didn't want to do that now. Um, having that having the way the contract that I had, um, my hours affected my health insurance. So if I was working less than 40 hours a week, that would mean that they would pay less into my health insurance for that week. It was like a weird setup. I didn't like dealing with the health insurance, didn't like dealing with no paid time off, because as a contractor, I didn't get that option with the contract I had. And so, it's a lot of little things that were kind of bugging me. And so I was like, no, I'm ready to go back to full time. I'm ready to try and get like a salary, so I don't have to worry about clocking in and what are my hours and stuff. That always seemed weird to me once I transitioned to salary a long time ago. And yeah, I mean, it was great. I felt like I leveled up big time contracting. I would say if you are in a rut, and you have the time and money to go out and contract, see what's out there. You'll have the opportunity to work at a bunch of different jobs, even some that you don't expect. I was working for a lot of really great companies that I would have never thought I would have the opportunity for, um, going full time. But for some reason, as a contractor, I was able to have a lot of great opportunities with a bunch of crazy companies, and I thought it was a really great experience. I'm glad I'm at full time now, but yeah. Let's see. As far as like personal design projects, I wouldn't say I got that much accomplished. I did do some things, right? Like we got the podcast up and running. We have that kind of refined more. I started adding a few more things on YouTube, trying to get that figure that process out. But overall, it's been little improvements. So I have to work on a process to I have to work on a plan for that. Um, let's see, personal life, everything's great. Kid is now full-fledged into school in kindergarten. So that's a fun experience watching him grow and transition from preschool to full-time or to kindergarten. And yeah, I mean, living day to day. You all have heard pretty much my journey um, through the podcast, and so yeah, I mean, I guess pretty simple. What about you, Terry? How was your 2019?
Oh God, it was very such an exceptional year. Just like from you having a full time, but wanted to do more concept work and more like design and try to get out of production. So that's when I took a Career Foundries boot camp. And then after that, that's when the doors just really blew open. And then from there, I haven't really looked back. I mean, I have, but it was such a beautiful, like, wild ride. I mean, from that, I fell on my face so many times that I failed, like, either like doing presentations or just, putting my foot in my mouth when I'm talking to some executive or at the company. That's where I was contracting at, and it was just like, oh my god, this fell so hard. But I failed so many times within that year, but it was a good kind of fail because I learned. So going through that to speaking at my first conference, I traveled to Istanbul, Turkey, and that was such a exciting time. And basically, I thought I would never speak at a conference, and now I'm applying to all different kinds of conferences. So my goal is try to do two conferences this year. I'm actually speaking the World IA conference down in LA in February. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm working on my stuff now. So, and then plus, I have a new website. So that's up. I'm trying to start, I'm getting my newsletter out, trying to start my own mini course about UX UI because I've talked to a lot of students, and basically a lot of people have been just like pinging me just through LinkedIn. It's like every day I get like three questions or like, oh, can you do this or can you ask this? And basically, there is a gap between when somebody actually does a boot camp and trying to find a job. Again, it really depends what boot camp you go, who's your tutor, who's your mentor, and then also too, are you asking the right questions to them so you can get the feedback that you need. And we all have to remember everybody is individual, everybody learns differently, everybody takes the information different. Maybe somebody might go a little bit faster, but that's okay. If they get quicker, that's all right. You don't need to compare yourself from Bob, or you don't need to compare yourself to Jane. It doesn't matter. You definitely have to go at your own pace, and what works for you, that works for you. And that's what I've really discovered with myself, that wherever I want to go, I'll get there sooner or later, but on my timeline, not anybody else's timeline. And basically, I think that is one thing I learned just from 2019, that we cannot compare ourselves with other people. So with that, family's doing good. Kids are getting big. I've been trying to read more. I have done to date at least what, 7 portfolio reviews. People has asked me to do that, so basically I started to do that, and then it's like, oh, that can be a service that I can provide on my website. So I added that service. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, just growing and learning and just like I said, for me, I want to be doing a lot more articles, doing a lot more workshops, taking the podcast, definitely working with Adam more, and and just really see how can we help new designers or seasoned designers or just anything if they're stuck on how can we help. And then also a funny story, I was getting contact for like different people, right? So anyway, this guy named Hugo, we started to talk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and basically over break, I just had an idea. It's like, you know what? In 2020, I'm gonna help nonprofits. I want to use my design skills to help nonprofits. So, anyways, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to work with me to work with nonprofits? And he said, yeah. And the funny thing is, he actually said he wanted to work with me before, but like he was scared to ask. Basically, I'm going, why would you want to be scared to ask? He's like, oh, I don't know. So I brought it up first, and it was just kind of funny. So again, if you're talking to somebody through LinkedIn, start a conversation. Just, hey, do you want to work together on something, and try it out and see what can happen. So that's what I'm going to be spending a couple hours a month just doing that. Um, so my new gig is for 2020 to give back to nonprofits as much as I can. So, and I think that's about it.
Awesome. What are your any goals, any other goals for 2020 besides um, helping out nonprofits?
Um, yeah, I will. I'm gonna air this out because it's gonna come out sooner or later, anyways. I just got accepted to get my second master's degree with doing learning HCI, so I'm kind of excited for that. And basically, I just found out classes start on Monday, but then again, I don't know my information to actually apply to the class, so that's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be doing that part time, one class per semester, because if I do two, I think I would be dead with everything else what is going on. But that is a goal of mine, and then I should probably finish within like 3 years or something like that, 3.5. But other than that, that's going. I need to get back to writing more articles and reading more. So those are my three main things, besides the podcast, of course, and definitely bringing a lot more interviews and just meeting different people. Just
Hmm.
just from like I've met like two different master HEI students. One is from Tennessee, one is from North Carolina, and they're just like really brilliant minds. And I was like, huh, what would happen if we did, if we brought on different interviews, people that basically they're trying to get into it, right? So what kind of pain points they're having. So maybe we can interview them. Just I mean, just a little different because everybody thinks like, okay, it's only me, it's only me. It's like, no, it's not only you. Somebody else is going through the same thing, And when you hear somebody else is having a hard time as well, you don't feel so bad, right? It kind of takes the pressure off.
Hmm.
So anyway, that's about it. I can probably ramble on for another 5 more minutes, but I say I don't ramble on. So any more updates that you can think of?
I know. I was trying to think of just kind of stuff that I wanted to do more personally for this year. I think for me, I wanted to focus on two main things. One is to be more business orientated. And so what that means, I have no idea. I want to just me be more business focused. So learn more about um, everything that goes into business, right? I only know one aspect of it, and that's how to design for business. But what about like business goals? What are they trying to get done? What are parts of just maintaining and running a business that I need to learn more about? How all the different departments kind of work together. I want to learn as much about business as possible. And so, but I'm doing it, just on the side, just getting different books on, how to run a business, what are some key business financial stuff to know, things like that. And one other focus I have this year is to create a product. And, this is not like create an app or create like some, I'm thinking of very small scale. What I want to do is like just like have fun, do something quick and easy, just so I can get into the whole process of building something, like kind of prototyping it out, uh, then seeing if I could produce it, and then seeing what it takes to like go into like all the different things. So I already have a, a simple idea that I have in the works, and I already made a cardboard kind of prototype of it. Oh, also too, I didn't have any sort of like direction, right? Like I didn't care if I was making a digital product or a physical product. I just wanted to make a one product, and for this case it was a physical product. And so yeah, I'm just, it was fun just to work on the prototype and have it out, or at least the cardboard version. I still need to make some tweaks to it, and then I'm going to see how I can actually get the thing made. Yeah, and produce on a small scale, test it, and then see where it goes. It just as a fun project, as a hobby. I want to see if I can do something so that I can learn each step of the way, right? Um, Production, marketing, advertising. What are all the steps that need to go into um, selling a product? And then, you know, hopefully it'll help me just be a better designer because of it.
Cool. And then what I forgot to mention, that Adam is so good in what he does. I wanted to tell you guys our top episodes. So, if you're new and you don't want to go through all of our episodes, these are the top 5 episodes from from 2019. Episode 30, episode 37, episode 42, episode 54, and then that's it. So, no,
Episode
one, two,
72, I
three.
believe. I mean, 29.
Oh, episode 29. Okay, cool. I missed that one. My bad.
Well,
So,
not that good because I don't have any I don't have any reference of what we talked about in those episodes except for 54, which was our interview with Emmanuel. So if you all remember, we interviewed Emmanuel. Believe he was in Moscow. No, was it Moscow? Definitely in Europe.
yes, Europe. Yes.
Um,
So,
man, I can't. I gotta find out. And yeah, we had our interview with him. Um, and for the other ones, I have no idea what we talked about in those episodes.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's okay. That's why we said the episode. They can go and check it out. If you want to listen to it, re-listen to it. So anyway, those were of our top 5 podcasts from 2019 and the future for 2020. We are definitely going to be thinking about bringing a lot more interviews in, different types of walks of life, and see just from everything. And then I do want to share a little quick story. I was strolling through Twitter, and think it was what, a couple days ago. And this gentleman, Stephen Cohen, um, he reached out to say, hey, I'm looking for mentees if you want to hop on a call. So I D him back. And today I had a call with him at 6 o'clock in the morning. He was on the East Coast, and and this guy is amazing. He took the time, at least what, 20 minutes, just to kind of talk and everything. He's a entrepreneur. He's already sold 2 businesses. He's working on his 4th business now, and he shared a little bit with me about it. And it's just like really exciting to talk, because like I'm forgetting, he's like a CEO of other companies, but like I just see him, as a person, as a man, as a father, right? And it was just a weird because if you're working at a company and you see your VP or your executives walking by, we always think, oh my God, they're such and such, but technically they're not. They're just as human as we are. So that was it was a cool conversation. It was very awesome of what the life and the like of an entrepreneur selling businesses and Adam was saying is like, definitely know the business side and like how does that work? What is the world like?
Hmm.
So, I'm having a conversation about that a little bit. It's like, it's just uh, yeah, I was just half the time I was like listening to him, like, uh huh, uh huh, uh huh, and taking notes, but nothing really stuck in my head. So, so like, I think I have to go back and like redo my notes. So, Twitter is just, you just never know.
That's awesome.
So, anyway, I'm done. I think we've, I think we've hit our point on what happened on 2019, and we're just looking forward for 2020 for next week. So let's get excited. I know I am.
I know. I'm really amped. I just gotta gotta actually do it. It's still been a little lazy in the evenings, and so I really gotta start getting a process down where I am starting to really develop all these things. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, yeah. My two main goals for 2020 is to definitely exercise more, say when I'm going to do it, and try to get 7 hours of sleep.
Ooh, for you, 7 hours? I
Yep.
don't see that.
Well, you would have been very proud of me. Ever since 2020, I've been going to bed either at 9, 9:30, or 10. Tonight is the only night that basically I will be staying up.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
So, all right. So, I think we're going to wrap it up and everything like that. So, Adam, so where can we find you on the web?
You can find me on Twitter at Adan Cepeda. That's AdanZepeda. And you can find me on Instagram at adanz.designs. I've also been trying to draw more. I was doing it in the beginning of 2019. Or the beginning of this year. I didn't do as much this week. It's Wednesday. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So hopefully by the end of the week, I want to try to make it where I do a draw Fridays. So I'm gonna try to do drawing every one. Try to do one bigger drawing on Fridays, and try to start to get more stuff out there. What about you, Terry? Where can we find you on the internet this week?
Uh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was playing with the mic because my son was sick and then he came down. So I was like, "Wah!" So I didn't want to make a whole bunch of noise. So anyway, you can find me at on Twitter, handle name Flaxen Ink, FLAXENINK, and on Insta, it's flaxenink.designs. And you can always find me on LinkedIn. Everybody seems to find me there, and it's great. So
One more thing too. I mean, typically we are a news podcast, right? We find articles that would relate to what's the latest going on in design. And then now in 2019 or in 2019 we started to include more interviews. If there's anything else that you would like to hear more of, send us a comment. Let us know. We're also interested in doing, answering questions, which we started doing as well. Uh, like portfolio reviews, just looking at other design work, posting your work, questions, send all your info to us at, or not all your info, we're not Facebook. Send all your design related questions and content to us at ramblingsofadesigner@gmail.com, or find us on the web and we'll put you on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, um, we have a couple interviews coming up. We have a couple portfolio reviews down the pipeline. So we definitely have questions galore happening. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yes, awesome.
All right. Aloha, everybody, and Happy New Year on day 8. And tomorrow's going to be day 9. Make it happen.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Aloha. Aloha. Bye.